Okay, so let's do part two of the video. We left off with our second milestone. There's a part one of this video in case you just started. Um, we basically did part one and two, so let me refresh everybody real quick. So, what we're going to do, we have made an action plan of all the things that AI needs to do to make this game work. I uploaded a PDF and asked the AI to make a action plan for a coder AI to code it. Now I'm using Gemini 3 on both, but one is specifically working on telling the other one what to do, and the other one only executes. Uh, it's much better for saving on time and tokens. I mean, unless you're on the, what is it? I think it's a $250 plan and you have all the time in the world. This is the way to do it. I would not have one Gemini tab and have it do it all. But if you do, definitely split your task into thinking and executing. Always be doing that. So here's what I'm going to do, just to give us a refresher. I'm going to copy milestone one and two. We're going to put it into an AI. This one was the one that basically looked at the stuff we were doing. We're going to start a new prompt. We're going to put milestone one and two in there. We're going to upload our PDF rules of the game. This is an old game that I had made in case you're just starting now. It's a physical board game. I guess what I should do, go ahead and copy all of this. We'll put it in our clipboard. Basically, I push Control C. I'm copying it. I'm going to delete it. It's when I push Control V or paste, it'll paste it in there. I'm going to go ahead and give a prompt. Please look at milestone one and two and explain it to me in plain English in comparison to the game. I'm not a coder, so I need this spoken to me like if I am a board game player only, and let me know what milestone one and two were, and that way I have an overview of where I'm at in the game development. Just so you're aware, basically I took this information and gave it to a coder for them to make the game. So now I'm pasting the milestone one and two, and I gave it that little bit of a prompt. So it's going to give us an overview of where we're at. Hopefully. Here's the game. Here's where we're at. Hopefully in the future we'll be able to make that bigger. Okay, so it's giving us the information for phase one and phase two. For milestone one and two. Basically, the plan to make our game broken up in sections, because you can't just do it all at once. You can,
Here
but
is
you're
a
going to
plain
screw it up.
English translation of what your developer is building in Milestone 1 and Milestone 2. Think of Milestone 1 as building the physical board and pieces inside the computer, and Milestone 2 as teaching the computer the first few chapters of the rulebook so it can act as the referee. Milestone 1. The board and abutting logic. In plain English, this step is about teaching the computer how hexagonal geometry works so it understands your game's most unique rule, abutting icons. The graph map. In real life, you just push cardboard tiles together. The computer doesn't instinctively know that tile A is touching tile B. The developer is building a virtual table, so the computer knows exactly which tiles are neighbors. The corner logic. This is the most critical part for your game. In Conflict of Plants, an icon sits on a corner and affects up to 3 different tiles at once. The developer is creating specific slots on every corner of every hex. This ensures that when a player puts a token on a corner, the computer automatically knows, okay, this token belongs to these 3 specific tiles. Initial setup. This teaches the computer how to deal the game. It will automatically shuffle the 6 start tiles, place them around the conflict tile, and place the white tokens, 1 face up, 5 face down, exactly as shown in your setup diagram. Where you are at, the computer now has a board that understands corners, tiles, and neighbors, and it knows how to set up the game for a new match. Milestone 2. The game flow and referee. In plain English, now that the board exists, this step teaches the computer the turn order and enforces the rules for phases 1, 2, and 3. The phase controller. The developer is building a traffic cop. It ensures players can't skip ahead. It forces the game to go phase 1, right arrow phase 2, right arrow phase 3, and ensures the correct player is acting. Phase 1, change round. The computer handles the upkeep. It automates flipping the white tokens on the conflict tile clockwise to reveal the new round's icon.
What's this thing?
Phase 2, manipulation. The computer is being taught to roll the dice for the player with the lowest score. It then highlights the non-white tokens on the board that match the dice, allowing the player to swap them. Phase 3, dispense. This is the heavy lifting. The developer is programming the 4-2-1 cube placement rule. The referee check. The validation rule means the computer will look at the card you played, e.g., a water icon, and check the board. If you try to place cubes on a tile that doesn't have a touching water token, the computer will stop you and say, illegal move. Automatic penalty. If you run out of valid spots or cubes, the computer will automatically subtract the 1 victory point penalty so you don't have to calculate it manually. Where you are at, by the end of this milestone, you will have a playable setup where the computer handles the round timer, white tokens, the dice rolling, manipulation, and the main cube placement, dispense, while preventing players from cheating. Summary. Next step. Would you like me to translate Milestone 3, which likely covers player actions like foot, weed, and combat, into this same format so you can see what comes next?
Okay, so what I'm going to do now, when it explained it to me, I kind of think our code is missing some stuff from phase 1. Date modified. Here it is. Phase 2's milestone is done, so I'm going to have it look at the code and make sure that everything has been implemented. I'm going to go ahead and open Canvas, but I'm going to make sure to let it know not to code. I'm going to have you look at the game code so far. We've done milestone 1 and 2. I've opened Canvas, but I do not want you to code. Look at phase 1. I'm concerned about the extra tiles that are not drawn because I physically can't see them. And also I'm not a coder, so I can't look at the code and see if it's there. I assume it's something that can be added later if it's missing, but if it's a crucial part, I'd like to fix it now instead of having to fix it later. Take a look at the code and make sure that all the milestones 1 and 2 have been implemented. Okay, we've already done this before, but there's something that concerned me. And that is, whenever I'm looking at the game so far that it's generated, it hasn't generated like the tiles that are not being placed. Basically, think about these tiles as a deck of cards. Only 6 of the deck of cards are dealt, and there should be another stack of the remaining cards, I believe. Let's look at the rules. It's been a while since I've actually played the game, so let's look at that. Oh, we should have 3 tile. Oh, that's for a 4-player. So in a 2-player game, deal 6 random starting tiles adjacent. So place the remaining 3 in the deck. I don't see that, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It could mean that it exists somewhere where I can't see it. Anyway, here's the game. Let's go to there. Let's see what it says. I'm looking at this milestone. Pass for milestone 2. Milestone 1. You're correct. Missing tile. So I was correct. Sometimes you have to listen a couple of times because it takes a while for the server to actually read it.
This is a great catch. You are looking at this exactly like a board gamer should, checking if the components are all on the table. Here is the plain English breakdown of the code phase 2. HTML versus your concern. 1. Your concern, the missing tiles. You are 100% correct. In the physical board game, you have 9 start tiles. You deal 6 to the table, and the remaining 3 go into a deck, along with the game tiles to be drawn later, using the foot action. What the code does right now. The developer told the computer, create 6 tiles and
Okay, so right here we've got what it does right now. Is it a crisis? No. What we can do, but we need to fix it before phase 3. However, you need to fix this now before starting phase 3. It's looking at milestone 2. Looks like pass, 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 partial setup. So what we're going to have it do is write a prompt for a coder to implement uh, that. I need you to write me a prompt for the coder to reevaluate the action plan and to fix the fact that the tiles are not all there and that setup is partial, that it didn't finish that part. Once we get all that, we can move on to milestone 3. Problem is milestone 2 and milestone 1 are not complete. So please write me a prompt for the coder to do that. The coder's AI, I'm using Gemini 3.0. So it's going to write me a prompt. In general, what I've noticed with people is that they try to write the perfect prompt. They think that with the perfect prompt, it'll one shot what you need done. Maybe that's true. I'm a trial and error kind of person and expect failure. In life, I expect failure to move forward. I use failure to do things better. So I treat AI the same way. I don't expect it to get right. I'd rather write a shorter prompt than a long prompt and get it wrong. I'd rather write a short prompt and get it wrong. If you're going to get it wrong, fail quickly.
here is a prompt designed to be copied and pasted directly to your AI coder. It speaks the language of a project manager talking to a developer, ensuring they understand that the foundation needs repair before adding new features. Copy and paste this into your chat with Gemini 3.0.
Okay, while it's talking to it, so explain to us to save time, I'm going to go ahead and, since we have this saved, it's fine, and give it the prompt, and we'll understand the prompt here. If we did it wrong, it's fine. We can go back to
Role: Senior React Developer, Game Architect. Current status: reviewing milestone 1 and 2 implementation. Action required: hotfix and refactor before proceeding to milestone 3. I have reviewed the phase 2 HTML code. While the hex logic, abutting icons, and the phase 1 to 3 engine are working well, we have a critical data omission in milestone 1 setup that must be fixed immediately. The problem: you have correctly generated the 6 active tiles on the map, but you failed to generate the exploration deck, tile deck. In the physical game, there are 9 start tiles and 10 game tiles. Currently, the code only creates 6 start tiles and ignores the rest. Without the deck object in the state, the game will crash when we attempt to implement phase 4, foot action, exploration, because there are no tiles left to draw. The fix: action plan update. Please refactor the build graph or create initial state logic to strictly follow the rules. Page 3 and 4. Generate full tile pool. Create data for all 9 start tiles, gold numbers, and 10 game tiles, black numbers. Map setup: shuffle the 9 start tiles. Place 6 of them around the conflict tile, as you are currently doing. Create the deck. Take the remaining 3 start tiles and shuffle them together with the 10 game tiles. State storage: store this stack of 13 tiles as a tile deck array inside the game state. UI update: for debugging purposes, please add a small text indicator in the UI, near the supply VP area, that says, tiles in deck, count, so I can visually verify the deck exists. Constraint: do not implement the phase 4 mechanics yet. I only want you to fix the data architecture and setup logic so that the tile deck exists in memory and is ready for the next milestone. Please provide the updated full code file.
Sweet. That's pretty pimp. Look, see, tiles 13. Looking good, looking good. Foot, boom. I'm very happy about this. Grass, we can go there, and we can also go there. Nice. Reveal wind. Nice. Let's go ahead and got 13 tiles. Let's reshuffle. Boom. Looks good. Looks good. Looks really good. Okay. So we've got that fix. Okay. Don't um, assume that it's ready because we've already went through one verification process and it missed a couple of things. Just assume that's always going to happen. Copy what we have. Let's go to our web plus plus that we built. Paste it in there. It's correct. Let's go ahead and save it. Okay, what I'm going to do is paste this into the correct folder. If I can navigate to it, because I suck at this kind of stuff. Whenever I'm under pressure, game stream. We're going to delete our old phase 2. We're going to rename this. It should be milestone, but I'm calling it phase 2. And this time I'm going to put the number 2. And that should be good. All right, awesome. So that's done. I know I'm doing it the hard way, so this one shouldn't work anymore when I hit it. Okay, awesome. Go ahead and open up our file, phase 2. Great, we got it. Let's go ahead and refresh and make sure that that everything is going on in plan. Yep, see all that's moving. We still have 13 tiles ready. Sweet, look at that. Look at that snow. Or what was it? There's the desert and there's the polar region. Awesome, man. I'm happy. We're doing good. Awesome. So that's cool. Let's go ahead and upload that file here. Let's give it a prompt. Here's the new generated file that the coder made. Please make sure that the prompt that you had was adhered to. Also go back to the original milestone 1 and 2 and make sure everything is in the game and that we're currently good going forward. That one catch, I'd already put it through a verifier and they missed it, so I need you to be very thorough. I'm worried about it not having players 3 and 4 in there, but I know that's an easy fix. Do we need to go ahead and fix that before we go to milestone 3, or should we just go forward assuming that there is no more missing pieces? But if there's missing pieces, let's take care of them. If there's any missing pieces, go ahead and write a prompt for us to add those missing pieces. So if you're just joining and you haven't watched the first video is really long because I end up having to make a web pad plus plus, basically somewhere to put my HTML and save it to my computer. I didn't use an external source for that. I probably should have, but I wanted to show that how powerful Gemini 3.0 is and how you have to be diligent. And luckily it made a few mistakes, so I show me doing some work throughs to try to fix it. I probably wasn't thorough enough in explaining exactly what I was doing. But basically, when you come across a problem or a question, use Gemini to get past those little issues, because like what I want you to do is use the Gemini tool as a tool to fix itself. Anytime you want to look at the code, have it look at the code and tell you what's going on, assuming you don't have a coding background. If you have a coding background, then this is not the video for you. This is for if you don't have a coding background. I'm a board game designer. I want to remain a board game designer. I don't want to take on another hobby. I have thousands of hobbies, or at least hundreds. And coding is not something I want to I don't want to develop games and learn coding.
This
I
is
don't
good
mind
news.
using AI.
I have analyzed the new file, phase 2, HTML, and compared it against the instructions. 1. Verification of the previous prompt. Status: success. The developer followed the instructions for the tile deck architecture perfectly. Full data. All 19 tiles, 9 start, 10 game, are now defined in the code. Correct split. The code successfully shuffles the start tiles, places 6 on the map, and combines the remaining 3 with the 10 game tiles to create the deck. UI indicator. There is now a tiles in deck, 13 inches counter on the screen. Foundation. The tile deck is now stored in the state, meaning milestone 1 and 2 are effectively complete regarding data structure. 2. Verification of your concern. Players 3 and 4. Status. Partially implemented. Logic gap found. You were right to be worried. Here is exactly what is happening in the code. The data. The placeholders for yellow and purple players exist in the memory. The logic, the problem, the code that controls whose turn it is, the turn sequencer, is currently hard-coded for only 2 players. Current code. If it's blue's turn, switch to green. If it's green's turn, switch to blue. Result. Even if you tried to play a 4-player game right now, yellow and purple would sit there forever and never get a turn. Recommendation. Do not move to milestone 3 yet. If we move to milestone 3, player actions, without fixing the turn order, you will have to rewrite the action logic later to accommodate the extra players. It is much safer to make the turn manager dynamic now so it automatically handles 2, 3, or 4 players. Here is the prompt to fix the turn sequencer. Copy.
Okay, so I'm going to let it, just to advance on time, I'm going to go ahead and put this into our coder, give him the prompt that they're about to tell us that to give. There's the prompt. Here's a prompt explanation.
And paste this into your chat with Gemini 3.0. Role. Senior React Developer. Current status. Milestone 1 and 2 data architecture complete. Action required. Fix hard-coded turn logic. Scalability refactor. I have verified the Phase 2 HTML file. The tile deck architecture is perfect. However, before we move to milestone 3, we need to fix a logic gap regarding the turn sequencer. The problem. While the player's state object contains definitions for blue, green, yellow, and purple, the turn switching logic in handle.
Okay, so something that I don't know if you've picked up on, I think a lot of people that I talk to don't realize how much AI can do. So they're usually fascinated by, oh, wow, I didn't know it could do that, or actually seeing it and seeing you do things with it makes me realize that I need to start using it or whatever. They'll tell me whatever, but they never really get past the hump that what I have done here is I am the dumb child telling the AI, hey, here's what I want done. Tell yourself in a way that you can understand it better. This is what I want done. It's like having a friend that is going between like academic language and plain just plain what colloquial language. Like I am talking to it like I'm a normal person. I'm not talking in the code of I'm not talking to it in terms of coding. I am just dealing with. Now I might be using a little bit of language that I've learned in the AI circles to explain some of this, but it's all, you don't have to use it. You can just be a normal, regular, everyday Joe, a blue collar person, white collar person, doesn't matter. Have the AI give itself instructions. And one thing that I do, sometimes I just go stream of consciousness talking to AI. So I'll sit there, hit record, or not hit record, hit the prompt, hit the microphone, and just start talking to it about something I want to design. And then I'll have it brainstorm with me and we'll go back and forth. And whenever I question whether it understands what I'm talking about, I have it explain it to me. And then I re-explain it in plain English. And eventually, hopefully we get to the point where it understands it. And then once it understands it, I can say, okay, so let's make this a document. So it'll take that and make it a document. And then I say, well, from this document that has all this information, let's make an action plan so that we can tell a coder what to do. And so, boom, we start making an action. It starts making an action plan. It has me review it and whatnot. Now, it's also like a lazy teenager. You have it, ask it to do something. It's going to do just enough to seem like it's done, especially if you're not a coder or like if like you saw, there was missing stuff. I've gone through a verifier twice. This is the third time and it's still missing stuff. And it's stuff it didn't catch. I caught it. Let's see what we got. That still works. Hopefully, this is the blue player. Let's see if we'll get other players. Grass, water, which is here. Grass, we still have that working, and that's working, which is great. Grass there. Yellow player, awesome. We have a. Okay, so it did partial it. See how it's got a supply, it's got victory points, it's starting to get it, but see how on the tile, like we'll do this reveal, we've got foot, so we go to foot and we click it. We don't have a visual of the cubes that are there. So let's go ahead and share. We're gonna we'll go here. We'll copy the code. I'm having problems whenever I'm clicking this. See how it's like, basically a while ago we had a little message saying that it lost connection. So I've got the code. I switched it from preview to code. I control A, select all, copied. We're going to go ahead and refresh. Maybe it'll make the connection back. That's just in case we lost what we've gotten done. Let's make sure we have all the colors. Water there. Seedling there. Grass is there. Seedling there. This is yellow player. It didn't actually place anything. Grass. Didn't see anything there. So cool. Same problem we had earlier. I don't like that. So there's two problems. One is the back of this token is the wrong color. It's revealing to me. See, every time I hit refresh, see, these tokens are not all the same. And it's secretly telling me what's on the other side. So there's two issues, and I'll explain it. Well, you'll hear what they are as I give this to the coder. I mean, what we're using as a interpreter or a verifier. I'm looking at the code. Actually, I'm looking at the game, and there's two problems. One, they've implemented a third player at least. I haven't gone through the cycle to see if there's 4 players. I assume there is. Look at the code to make sure. But as they place cubes on a tile, they're not actually reading those cubes as being available. So in other words, I have cubes for the blue player. I have cubes for the green player. But when the yellow player is placing cubes on a tile, they're not being visible. Also, the tokens that are around the center, they're not all white. Now, on the flip side, there are different tokens, but because while they're flipped to the other side, I noticed that one's a little gold color. Basically, it's like looking at a marked card. I know what's going to be on the other side, I assume. I assume that every time I see that gold on the back side, it's going to be the same front side. Those are not supposed to be visible until they're turned over. So essentially, it's like looking at a marked card. Will you take a look at this and see what I'm talking about before we decide to write a new prompt? There, I pasted the code for the game. It's going to look at the code, look at my prompt. Now, if anybody started looking at this stream or a YouTube as one-shotting a game, then you wouldn't need me. Like, this is not an easy process, but it's not a hard process. It's just a process of you having to be a little bit diligent.
You have an incredibly sharp eye. You found 2 specific bugs that I have confirmed by looking at the code. Here is the breakdown of what you found versus what is in the code. The invisible, yellow, purple cubes. The code. The logic does switch turns to yellow and purple correctly now. I checked the turn_order logic, it works.
Okay, I copied the prompt that it's going to tell us the prompt, and I copied the prompt and went ahead and put it into our coder to go ahead and start, so it doesn't waste our time while we're listening.
The bug, however, the graphics engine, hex renderer, is hard-coded to only draw blue and green squares. It literally ignores yellow and purple data when drawing the screen. The computer knows the cubes are there, but it isn't showing them to you. The marked cards, the code, the tokens have specific colors defined, e.g., white underscore key is yellow, white underscore weed.
Okay, so over here, we had another error. We're having server issues, connection server issues. So I'm having to reprompt it. I refresh the browser, and I'm going to send that prompt again and see if it'll start coding. Or if we'll go through the same problem again, answering now. It's refactoring, cool. Let's go back here.
Is green. The bug, the renderer is painting the token its specific color even when it is face down. This is exactly like using transparent sleeves on card backs. You know exactly what is coming up before you flip it. We cannot move to milestone 3 yet. If we do, you will be building on a broken visual foundation. We need to force the coder to fix the graphics to match the logic. Here is the prompt to fix these two specific issues. Copy and paste this into your chat with Gemini 3.0. Role: Senior Front-End Developer, Game UI Specialist. Current status: Milestone 2 logic is good, but visualization is broken. Action required: fix hex renderer logic for 4-player visibility and hidden information. I have reviewed Phase 2, HTML. The internal game state is handling the 4-player turn cycle and the deck correctly, but the SVG rendering has 2 critical defects that make the game unplayable. Defect 1. Invisible player cubes, the blue, green only bug issue. In the hex renderer, inside the tile loop, you have hard-coded elements for only cube underscore colors. Blue and cube underscore colors, green. Result: when the yellow or purple player places cubes, the data updates correctly, but nothing.
Okay, so it looks like I can see 4 different types of cubes there. That's cool. It looks like we're good. We're gonna hit refresh a few times, making sure that it stays white. It does, and those things are moving. Start phase 1. We're gonna go ahead and listen while we're playing.
Appears on the screen. Fix: refactor the SVG inside the group to display a 2x2 grid of small squares, blue, green, yellow, purple. Ensure all 4 colors render if their count is greater than 0. Ensure the text count is visible for all 4. Defect 2. Marked cards, on conflict tile, hidden info leak, issue. The white tokens on the conflict tile are revealing their identity before being flipped. Current code: fill color equals corner, token, color, problem. White underscore key renders as yellow and white underscore weed renders as green even when face up is false. Fix: implement proper, face down, logic. If token is white equals true and token face up equals false, the fill color must be a generic neutral color, e.g., #E2 E8 F0 or white, so they all look identical. Only apply the specific token, color, and label if face up equals true. Constraint: do not add new game phases. Only fix the hex renderer component so I can visually verify that 4 players work and that the hidden tokens are actually hidden.
Okay, so it's working. This is fucking amazing. Okay, so we're going to ask it a question. We're going to give it the current code. I'm going to save this code because I'm really happy with it. We give this code. Let's not give it the code yet. Let's go ahead and go to our web pad, paste it in there. There's our game. Go ahead and save that. Let's go ahead and copy that. Remove the old one. Rename it phase 2. Now, obviously, that whole step will be done in web pad plus. We'll fix our web if it goes into like coding for a while. We'll fix our web pad to fix all that stuff to make it easier for me to do all that, so I don't have to do it all off air or whatever. Okay, so let's get our code. Make sure that we have it all copied. Control A, Control C. Go to here. We're going to prompt it. Okay, so I have a quick question. While I'm looking at the game code, the problem is since it's done in vector or SVGA, I'm sorry, is there any way to put like enlargement bars, or is that something we can do later? Or do we need to do it now before we do milestone 3? Here's the current game. Parentheses. Basically, I looked at the game and it's like tiny, you know? If I hit restart, it's our new one. Stuff is changing. We've got all 4 colors. This is sweet. Do it now. Awesome. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So it said copy paste this now. Boom. Let's get this stuff. Copy it. That's our prompt. Paste our prompt. Put it to work. We'll watch the code so we can see it building it. We'll go ahead and listen to what we need to listen to. Hit that menu, go to listen. See, it didn't work, so I hit it again. Little gears going, so we know
This is a very smart question. By enlargement bars, you are referring to zoom and pan controls, the ability to zoom in, out, and drag the map around. My advice, do it now. Here's why you cannot wait until later. The foot action, phase 4, the very next milestone, allows players to explore and add new tiles to the map. The problem, as players add tiles, the map will grow larger than the screen. Without zoom or scroll bars, enlargement, the new tiles will simply disappear off the edge of the monitor, and you won't be able to click them. The fix, we should treat this as milestone 2.5, visual core. We need to fix the invisible cubes, the marked cards, and add zoom controls all at once so the visual engine is robust enough to handle the expanding map. Since the code you pasted does not yet have the fixes for the invisible cubes, or marked cards, we discussed a moment ago, I have combined all 3 requests, cubes, hidden tokens, and zoom, into one single, powerful prompt. Copy and paste this into your chat with Gemini 3.0, role, Senior Front-End Developer, Game Engine Architect. Current status, Milestone 2 logic is complete, but the visualization engine is insufficient for Phase 4. Action required, implement, Milestone 2.
Dude, look at that. Oh my God. Dude, that is sweet. Look at that. Oh, I'm so happy. Okay, so code, copy, put it in our Dilemma Bobber, our WebPad++. It's working in our preview. Sweet. Save it. We'll fix that, I swear. Let's call it phase 2. I don't know if I had a capital. Yep, still working. Sweet, dude. Check that out. Now you can kind of see what I'm talking about when we're playtesting. It won't go bigger than that, but check it out. Okay, so start game, phase 1. Phase 1 is where we're going to be one of the players. So we've got 4 different players. We're going to start phase 1. We're going to put cubes in areas. These areas that we're putting the cubes have to match these corner tokens. If like this one that says, let's say this one that says WE, that's short for weed. So in the forest and the tropics are both touching the weed token. So if we turn over a weed token, then we know we can place 4 in the forest or the tropics or tropical. And then we're allowed to place 2 more tokens, and then we're allowed to place 1 token. So we'll start the game. Boom, player blue has 25 tokens, 5 victory points. Place 4 into the seed. You see, place 4 tokens. Let's see, tile seed is right here. Seed's only touching 1 tile. We'll hit it. It put 4 tokens there. Reveal the next one. We're allowed to place 2 tokens in a foot. Foot is right here. It places 2. Reveal grass. Grass is here, but then also these white tokens are grass for the most part, especially that first one. So that means I can place it in these 2 tokens, or these 2 places, or here. And I'm going to place it here. Reveal token. Water. Water is here. We're going to place here because there's nobody there. I mean, there's no point in talking strategy. Place 2 more there. This is the green player foot. 1 there. They didn't really have a place. Water. This is the yellow player. It's placing 4. You'd place them there. Weed. We'll place here. Grass. We can place here, here, or here. This is going to be 1 token, so we'll go there. Purple player. 4 tokens in the wind. They'll go here. Reveal wind again, so they'll place 4 more here, so they'll have the majority there. Seedling, they'll go here. That's another 2 tokens. They have, we'll roll dice. We got to switch the weed and the water. Boom. Reveal, next turn, so on. Okay, cool. It is pretty damn sweet. Oops. This is the verifier. Please look at all of the prompts you made, plus milestone 1 and 2. Let's make sure everything is done. See if you see any problem areas. The next thing I want to ask you before we go to the next part of the game is, no, that's fine. Actually, we don't want that. Let's see. Let's delete that. We'll prompt it differently. Please look over this code. Make sure that everything you asked in all your prompts have been done, as well as milestone 1 and 2. Take a look, see if you see any problem areas. Go back to the original rules. Go back to the original document the original text that I gave you for milestone 1 and 2. Make sure everything is done so that we are ready to go to milestone 3. Let's look at milestone 3. Oops, we don't want to inspect it. We want to listen to it.
Milestone 3, the action engine, phase 4 logic. Objective, program the specific behaviors of the 6 core action icons. Movement helper, create a reusable move cube, from tile, to tile, color, function. Action, foot, logic to draw from tile deck, place adjacent, and calculate plus 2 VP per neighbor. Action, grass, combat implement the iterative removal logic. Step A, remove 1 opponent cube. Step B, remove 1 of every player's cube, including active. Step C, repeat until only 1 species remains. Action, water/wind, logic for selecting cubes and moving them to adjacent tiles. Action, seedling, logic for minority scoring on a single tile abutting a weed icon.
Okay, so that's going to be the action part of it. Pass status, great. Let's listen. Looks like we're good. Fully cleared.
I have conducted a line-by-line audit of the latest code file, Phase 2, HTML.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and make it do Phase 3. What I'm going to do is upload the rules again. I've got the rules again. We originally, like 7 iterations ago, when we originally prompted it, we're going to put the rules again. to prevent any kind of context collapse, meaning it doesn't know what we're talking about, or it starts hallucinating, or starts doing something a little crazy. In a moment, we're going to start with a whole new coder, because as this coder continues doing its job, we're every time we have it code, we're one step closer to hallucinations and one step closer to context collapse. So this will probably be the last time. Oops. My dog is screwing around down here. Hold on one second. Let's go ahead and send this maybe. Uh-oh. I'm having issues here. I don't know what's going on. Okay. Okay, so it's not allowing me to do this. So what we're going to do is refresh. Looks like we're having issues. It's probably because I have too much stuff going on. Let's go ahead and close game for now. Close the PDF. Hopefully that'll help us out. We might have to close this in the stream now and then reset. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so that ends part 2. We'll go to part 3 here in a moment. Hopefully we're in a really good spot. We'll stop right there. How do you turn this damn thing off?